Have you ever wondered why some people can literally convince people to go to war, die, sacrifice themselves, maybe even attach a bomb to themselves and throw themselves in a crowd of innocent people because they're doing it for something greater, while others cannot even convince their own family members, their own girlfriends, their own friends to listen to them? See, the people I'm talking about are politicians. In this video, I'm going to show you the 8 manipulation techniques, the exact psychological tricks that politicians use to literally move the world. See, I believe the world is shaped by those who learn how to move people, and there are no better examples than politicians, perhaps except for prophets such as Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, but that's for other videos I've already posted on the channel. There are no better examples. See, it has nothing to do with being part of the Illuminati or being corrupt, although there's a lot of dark shit happening, we all know it, but it's not really about that. These are the same techniques that business leaders use, that I used to go from being the bullied, socially anxious, socially broken kid as I was growing up, to now being paid to speak on stages, leading Born to Speak to become the #1 school community for public speaking influence, charisma, closing hundreds of deals, building 6-figure businesses, all based on the same art of moving people. That's without mentioning how much it changed my relationship life, dating, social life. That's for other videos as well. These are the most important skills you could possibly learn, and it has nothing to do with some secret society that wants to hide them from you. It has everything to do with one single psychological skill, which is the skill of persuasion. Skill number 1. You must learn to move people, to lead people with emotion, not logic. Emotion. Emotion. No one gives a fuck about 8 psychological tricks unless I started a video talking about throwing themselves in a crowd of innocent people and about Illuminati and religion and all these different concepts, because these are concepts that people are emotionally attached to. War, fear, that's how you move people. No one gives a fuck about statistics if they're not backed up by an emotional reason. Just like in sales, we say you first move people emotionally, then you justify it with logic. People buy with emotions and then they want to justify it with logic. The same thing applies with every single thing in life. That's where storytelling comes in. That's how Donald Trump, that's why he says, "Make America great again." He's talking to the pride of the people. If he said, "Let's decrease or increase rather the GDP of the country by X% by the year 2027, no one gives a fuck. Make America great again." That's a whole nother level. Coming back to the psychological tricks, you want to use powerful words. See, how different is the experience of saying, "He messed up, he is human, he made a mistake, like he went unconscious, it happens," versus "He stabbed me in the back, he betrayed me, he killed me." It's like, where is the knife? But I'm not seeing no knife. The metaphors we're using, the language that we're using completely determines the quality of our life. Are you a hero or a victim? I don't know. Is life a story? Is life a gift? Is life a battle? Is life a test? I don't know. It's what you make it. People talk about identity is so important. Self-image is so important. But what is that? What is identity? It's the story of who we believe we are. It's the words we use to describe ourselves. It's the labels that we use. That's it. Powerful words. Now, talking about politics specifically, see, Andrew Tate is someone I've made a lot of videos about on this channel. I believe he's also one of the most influential people on this planet, one of the most famous people on this planet, for good or for bad. This is not about whether you like him or not. You cannot deny he has great fucking influence skills. And one of the things he uses is he always says controversial shit. He's always so fucking insane with his words. It's like a fucking sniper, boom, boom, boom. Or just simply the example of escaping the matrix. Instead of awakening and self-improvement. Escape the fucking matrix. You're being a slave. How about that? You're being a slave. The example I gave in the beginning of this fucking video. Throwing yourself in a crowd of innocent people. Talking about terrorists. That's very powerful language that grabs your attention. I remember I was on a workshop in Born to Speak, completely free by the way, and I was telling the guys an example of how not to give a fuck about what others think. And I was giving an example of how we all grew up as little babies. We all started life as little babies, and little babies don't give a fuck. You put them in front of a crowd of 50,000 people in the middle of a stage, like the biggest stadium in the world, 100,000 people. And if they want to suck on their mama's titties and they're mad because their mama's not there, they're gonna fucking express their emotions just because they want to suck on their mama's titties. And I was using that language, sucking on their mama's titties. At the end of the workshop, when I asked the guys, what did you remember most? What's the main takeaway from this workshop? You know what they told me? You must be like babies because they don't give a fuck about wanting to suck on their mama's titties. That was the conclusion. This is the power of breaking people's patterns. This is the power of using language that is taboo. You get it? Psychological trick number 3, use a clear structure. Use a clear structure. See, my favorite example of that is if you look at every single one of the most powerful stories in history. Start with the Bible. How about that? You start with the Bible. You go to Harry Potter. You go to The Matrix. You go to Lord of the Rings. You go to Star Wars. Notice the pattern across every single one of the greatest stories in history. Those that move people, those that influence people, that plant ideas of values in people's minds. Guess what that is? It's the hero's journey. It's the hero's journey. Whenever you're presenting something, you want to start by painting a picture of the current situation, and you want to make it vivid. That's where a hook is in a content video as well. That's what a pattern-breaking opener is on a sales call. You want to paint the picture, where are we right now? You want to make it vivid. You want to bring people to the present moment. You want to bring them with you. Then, boom, problem. Something arises. Something happens. Surprise. That, boom. That's when in the beginning of the video, I was talking about how someone cannot even influence their own girlfriends or their own family members or their own friends. And all you guys related a little bit. That's why you're still here. Okay, we have a problem. What does the hero do then? Okay, we're going to try solutions. We're going to go on a journey together. We're going to go on an adventure. That's the longest part. That's step by step, me leading you guys through a step-by-step process or a certain list of psychological tricks. That's when on a sales call, you ask the person what is their problem. And then, okay, you start guiding them, making them realize that you are the solution by asking questions, bringing them on a journey together, walking them through it. It's the same pattern all the time. It's the hero's journey. And then at the end, obviously, you want to create an absolute and total conviction in the person's psyche that you have found the solution, / you are the solution, / your ideology is the solution. Making America great again is the solution. Surrendering to God is the solution in Jesus's case. Buying your program is the solution in the case of sales. Listening to that video until the end, subscribing to the channel, joining Born to Speak is the solution. In my case here, giving you guys these points, or any CTA you have in your own content. You will never go wrong with a little hero's journey. Never. Now, point number 4 is use repetition. Repetition to build truth. See, I always say, what is a belief? What is self-image? What is confidence? What is any belief you could possibly have about yourself or about the world? It's literally built on proof. That's it. Proof. And what is proof? Repetition. Repetition of proof. Why am I so confident speaking to you guys right now, talking about these concepts? It's because I've done it so much. It's because people have paid me 6 figures to teach them that. It's because I have a Skool community full of almost 600 members at the moment of recording this video who are there to learn from me. It's because they show up on every single week on the workshops. It's because I've been doing that for multiple years. I've been getting paid to speak on stages. That's why, because I've repeated that shit so many times. And you guys remember, what a very powerful man in history said, which is you repeat a lie long enough, it ends up becoming a truth. You know who that man is? Hitler. That's who the guy is. Listen, it can work both ways. It can work both ways. So what I tell my guys in the community, I always repeat, you're in your head, you're dead. You're in your head, you're dead. You're in your head, you're dead. Because I want to get the guys to be more present. I want to get the guys to surrender. That's what I'm doing here with you guys right now. There's a structure to this video, obviously, but all of it is improv. I know in advance what the 8 points will be. Yes, I scripted the hook. Yes, because I got to play the YouTube game. But everything in between, the stories I'm sharing with you guys here, like every single example that I give on these points, it's all improv. And that's why I teach the guys, you're in your head, you're dead. Now I gave you some extra sauce just to prove that what happened eventually by using that repetition is that the guys, when giving each other feedback, because in the community I get the guys to give each other feedback, I believe the best way to learn is also to teach. And they would tell each other, you're in your head, you're dead. You seem like you're in your head. You're in your head, you're dead. See, this is what happens when you use repetition. It's so important. Make America great again. Make America great again. Again, this video is not about which political side you're on. I don't give a single fuck. And I mean that. I don't give a fuck. It's just to give you examples of the most powerful people in the world. There's a reason why they're there. Trick number 5. And this might be my favorite. I already teased it a little bit in the other point. Absolute certainty. Influence is a transfer of certainty. That's it. That's when you can look at a guy like Andrew Tate and he took over the fucking world, and especially in the brains of teenage boys. Why? Because they are more suggestible. They are more suggestible. Young people are more suggestible. So what happens is he has so much certainty in the way he speaks. He would fucking talk about something that could totally be bullshit, but he has so much certainty that he almost bypasses that rational filter in your mind that is supposed to think about yourself. I'm supposed to think about myself. Someone with so much certainty is like, oh, you know what, fuck it, I'll trust them. They will save me time. That's the authority bias. That's where it comes from. And listen, with great power comes great responsibility. You can use that for whatever. You can use that for whatever. It works on everyone. What's so funny is when I'm coaching my clients and I'm coaching them and now I see them evolve and becoming so much better and better with time, what ends up happening is the same things I teach end up working on me. I notice it unconsciously. I'm starting to be moved by what they're talking about. I'm starting to be like, that guy really knows what he's talking about. I would catch my thoughts come and go that are completely different from the moment we started working together. It's because they build the certainty. Now I have a 3-step state triad on how to build certainty. It's the most powerful tool you can possibly have ever in your speaking and sales. If you want to learn more about it, you can join the community. It's completely free. You'll watch all the recordings from the workshops. I talk about it extensively. I talk about it all the time in the community, basically every workshop, because it's the most important thing in the skill of influence. Now, number 6, and that is very, very good. That is very good. Strategic vulnerability. Oh, see, we all know this moment where someone, a very strong man, starts crying for the first time. It cries in front of people for the first time because something he cares about so much, like an athlete who just lost and then he's crying. Or, Obama, who's crying during a gun violence speech. Or someone who's supposed to be the best in the world at what they're doing, like Tony Robbins, for example, the father of life coaching. Like, this guy became a billionaire coaching people. Like, he created a fucking industry. And he would go on a podcast with Hormozy that went totally viral. And then he would be like, I'm not here to coach you. Like, if you don't mind me giving you my 2 cents, which is probably all it's worth. It's like, bro, come on. You charge $1 million per year for 3 coaching sessions. Like, it's not worth 2 cents. But he's being humble on purpose so that people can feel they can relate. It's because the only way you move people, and that's the same principle in sales, is if people either like you, they want to be like you, or they feel like you. Now, if they can want to be like you while liking you, while feeling like you, that's the ultimate one. So if you represent something so powerful, if you represent a beautiful skill, and yet you're one of the people, you're leading by example, you're on the front line, that's what strategic vulnerability does. It's so important. You want to be human, especially in the age of AI. The more AI takes over, the more people will crave that human authenticity. So the more you got to be real, the more stories you got to share. In this video, I've been sharing multiple stories. And at the beginning, I was very honest with the fact that I was bullied. I had to change schools. Like, it was really deep shit. And so when I shared this with you guys, you're like, oh, okay, this guy actually is human. Now 7. Ooh, this one's so good. Urgency and threat. Notice what I did in the previous point. Oh, I'm going to reveal my secrets. Tough one. Okay, it's going to be a secret only for the people who stayed so long, okay? Notice what I did. When I bring AI, and I say especially in the age of AI, especially in the age of AI, what does that do? There's a common fear right now in society where AI will replace everyone. And whether that is true or not, there's definitely a narrative that can be leveraged to move people. I'm revealing my secrets right now. Now, obviously, I have decided to be on the light side of that. What do I mean? I've decided to use these techniques to lead for good. And I genuinely believe, in my mind, I'm totally convinced that certain jobs, certain skills will totally be replaced by AI. If you ignore it, you're going to eventually end up on the wrong side of society, the one that is being controlled. And if you genuinely care about freedom, then you would want to adapt and you would want to think about your life and how to get into a direction where AI won't replace you. And so I mean that when I say it. But what does that do? It creates natural urgency. It creates a natural threat. True. It's very true. It's very true. Or when I give the example, people talk about business. So a lot of my clients are in business. All of them are in business. And they are talking about, I want to make X amount of money. And I pull the statistic. I say, listen, in the US, 1 out of 1,000 people only ever make $1 million per year or more. 1 out of 1,000. Now, do you think there's only 1 out of 1,000 people that are trying? That are really extensively trying, like working hard for it? No. First of all, maybe 50% of the population wants to make $1 million per year. Maybe less, whatever. Definitely less are actually serious about it. Definitely less are really, really working hard. But it's definitely more than 1%. Which means some people, their whole lives, will work their asses off and never make it. Statistically, they will die before achieving that, statistically. Now, what does that do? It's truth. It's real. But then it creates threat. And then I back it up with the truth as well, which is why you must use the power of proximity. Proximity is power. You want to be close to someone who's already done it. You want to learn the right skills. You don't want to focus on working hard on the wrong thing. You want to learn on the right skills. You want to get the right information. You want to invest in yourself, which is also true. So that's one way you can create threat in a very real way to move someone into making a decision that, by the way, is the right one for them. This is what salespeople need to fucking drill into their minds. You are getting someone to make a decision that will change their lives forever. I think about my own decisions in my life. Investments into programs, into myself, into learning skills, into education are the best fucking decisions I've ever made. That's the power of sales. So when you use real urgency, real threat is how you move people. It's huge. Now, politicians obviously use that all the time for bullshit as well. But we're going to get into that for another video. I don't want to be political here. Last but not least, my brothers, polarization. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, the story of the common enemy, the story of us against them, good versus evil, timeless human story, timeless human dilemma, People love it. The story of the Bible is about that. Jesus versus Satan, story of Harry Potter, story of Star Wars, the light versus the dark. We all love that. In my videos, what I do is I talk about my enemy, the common enemy is the plaster solutions like, oh, use less filler words. Pause more when you speak. Use your body language. It's like, okay, congratulations. That's only symptom. It doesn't treat the root cause of the problem. It's always psychological. It's always about serenity. It's always about the self-image. It's always about surrendering to God. So I bring in a new dimension, and the enemy is all these other fucking gurus and associations that I used to be in that are teaching only the superficial stuff. It's still an us against them. It's us against them. Again, all of these I use personally. I've demonstrated in this video. I only make sure, and this is the core fundamental thing about Born to Speak, my clients, is I tell them with great power comes great responsibility, and I mean it. I mean it. You got to use it for the right reasons. Please. Please. Cool. Now, guys, do you think that if you're in business or in sales or you're making content, at least one of these would help you move people more, will help you have more influence and grow whatever it is that you're building, right? Come on. Now, if you want to put that into practice, if you want to get my personalized feedback, if you want to participate to the workshops, all of that for free, then you can join Born to Speak. The link is in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you here very soon because I post pretty often on YouTube. Awesome. Love you guys. Mwah.